And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're taking a look at a small game called Rolling Japan, which has to do with rolling dice and then filling numbers in on a map of Japan. That's my intro. Let's continue. The game simply comes with several color dice, 7 dice, 1 for each color. Comes with these sheets that show maps of Japan and some funky pencils that you can clip on your shirt. You're going to put all the dice in a bag. You're going to write your name down here, so I'll pretend I'm Shadador here. And what you're going to do, we'll take a closer look at the map. One player is going to pull 2 dice from the bag randomly and roll them. So here I roll a white 3 and a green 2. I said it to everybody, and everybody has to write a 3 in one of their white zones and a 2 in one of their green zones. Then you pull the next 2 dice, so we have yellow and black, and we have a yellow 1 and a black 5. Now, whenever you put a number in a spot, all the numbers that are next to it can be next to blank stuff, no problem, but all the numbers next to it have to be either the same number or 1 higher or 1 lower. So I rolled a 1 yellow. I could put that 1 here. It's next to that 2 green, so that's legitimate. Of course, that means this has to be a 2 or a 1, a 2 or a 1, or a 2 and a 1. The black 5, I cannot put it there because that would be next to a 3. But I'm thinking I'll put a 4 next to a 3, so I'm going to put the 5 there. The next 2 dice are rolled, and here I have a blue 3 and a purple 2. So I'll put the blue 3 here. The purple 2, the purple you can put anywhere you want. And so I might say, oh, well, that's a good one to put next to that 1 there. I'm going to put a 2 in this yellow up here. Now, since 6 dice have been pulled from the bag, then that's the end of that. We're going to put all the dice back in. We don't use the 7th die. And the 1 round is over, and we're going to do this again, and we're going to do it 8 rounds. At this point you can see that the 6 of green has nowhere where it can go because everywhere I put it, it's next to either a 2, a 1, or a 4, and it's not 1 away from any of those numbers. So I have 2 options here. I can use one of my 3 color changes. When I do that, I just say this is a 6 of anything, so I could say the 6 of white and put it over here. Or I can put an X anywhere in a green spot to take its place. You don't really want X's because X's are bad. And so this will continue. If you have all your spots filled up with numbers and X's and you roll that number, then you're fine. But you'll continue going until everyone has crossed off all 8 rounds. At that point, you're going to score the game. So players are going to look here, and the score of the game is very easy. For example, here's a final sheet that Melody did, and you can see that she had 12 X's total, while her father, who was named Thomas Vasel, had 9 X's. The least number of X's is the winner. You can also see that Z here had 14 X's and Jason had 14 X's. So someone whomped everybody else. But the whole goal is to get as few X's out as possible. Now this isn't necessarily limited to Japan. I've talked to the company, they show me maps for both Germany and France, and so there's other maps that, this could easily be transposed to other maps. This is essentially a solitaire game, and that I mean you're working on your own paper while everyone else is doing their own. Sure, one person is rolling the dice and calling out the numbers, think bingo. There are other games that do this. There are games like many games where someone's calling out numbers and you write them on a sheet and you're trying to get them in specific orders. Blue Orange did one. There was Take It to the Limit, where people were putting tiles on the board. And these kind of games are interesting because really there's no limit to players here. They say 1 to 8 and then they go 99 in parentheses here in the box, because you could technically hand out sheets to a ton of people, call out the numbers and see who gets the best score. And you can play it solitaire. And while I'm not a big solitaire player, I can see doing this. So how does it stack up? Well, I enjoy it. I do wish maybe there was a bit more player interaction, but essentially it's a puzzle. It's something entertaining to pass the time as I'm sitting there saying, okay, and then you're trying to put numbers, and the way the map is written, it seems like it always befuddles you, you know, where you're going to put stuff. And when the purple die is rolled, where are you going to put that wild number? You know, what color are you going to put it in? Because that can really change whether you win or not. And those color changes, when are you going to use them to switch a color? So it's very interesting. I actually quite enjoy the game, although realizing it's more of like a puzzle type activity than it is a game. Positive benefits: large groups easily, or small groups. And it also has a very small footprint and has rolling dice, and people like to roll dice. There really isn't much negative, I can say, unless you're looking for more player interaction or a bigger game, in which case, why are you even considering this? This is pretty cool. It's a neat game that combines dice with a puzzle-like aspect to it, but also plays very quickly, and anybody can jump into it at, you know, you can just say, hey, this is how you play in like 30 seconds and people will get it, which is something I like quite a bit from a game. So, once again, another cool, unique game from Japan, Rolling Japan.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door! Shut the door!
Shut the door!